Ladies and gentlemen, we have the first ever good champion on the line here. Cameron Sisk, congratulations, big winner. Tell us, where are you now?
Currently sitting up in Canada, getting ready to tee off in the first event of the year.
Exciting. All right,
Yeah.
you are the first ever winner of the Good champion. Let's start at the qualifying round because that was a kind of a nail biter for you. What was going on during the qualifying round?
Yeah, I got off to a pretty slow start. I think I was like part of like the first six holes. Had a lot of birdie looks that just didn't go in. Stayed patient, but it wasn't playing that well. And then I think I was two under with three to play and hit it up close on 16 and got up and down from like 50 or 60 yards for birdie, and then hit a really bad shot on 17 in the right bunker and hit a pretty good bunker shot considering the situation to about 10, 12 feet and made that. And then
That was a
had
clutch
a,
putt. I mean, you
yeah, that
didn't know it
was,
at the time, but that
yeah,
was huge.
yeah. And then birdied, had a really good up and down up on 18. Hit a good drive, bad second shot, but a really nice chip to pretty close. And that at the time I thought that was going to get me in, and then I got in and found out 400 was a playoff, so I had to readjust my
What were the
my game
nerves
plan.
like, let's say in the just teeing off at the qualifying round versus, other events you've been in recently?
Um, yeah, I guess honestly, I would say I was probably a little bit more nervous in the qualifying round than just the tournament itself, because knowing that you just needed to get in to give yourself a chance. Um, so yeah, that was I don't know, not really on the tee, just nervous more coming in, knowing that I needed to get it done. Because the
Did you have a
spot in
number
the
in your head of what would potentially qualify?
yeah, like I said, I mean, at the time I was thinking just based on like how I thought everyone was playing and seeing other guys in my group and other guys around me, I was thinking like 400 would get in and 300 would probably be the playoff. Um, but guys came to play and there's some low rounds out there.
Yeah. Okay. So you're in a playoff, a 4-for-2 playoff, um, and you get it done. But so what are you thinking in the playoff, standing there on the 18th tee box? What's going through your head?
Um, I don't know. I honestly I just had a really good feeling about it. I was pretty confident. Um, I don't know. I think I was just really more focused and locked in than I have been in a while. Just up there on the tee box, and I just hit four really good shots. I mean, we all hit pretty good drives. At least had chances to hit the green too. And me and George were the only ones that hit the green. The other guys missed, and chipping on tight lies down there and there, especially under that pressure, it definitely showed that the results of those guys' chips, it wasn't their best. So being able to be on the green too and have a chance of two putt to go to get in was big.
Yeah, that was big. So okay, so you qualify, and then take us through your thought there on the first round. What was the nerves like? You're in the final 12. What's the difference between that and the qualifying round in terms of your mindset, your nerves, your strategy, the whole thing?
I mean, I think it was a blessing in disguise, honestly, that I got through a playoff, because I really went out there with, I mean, nothing, the mindset of nothing to lose. Like I went out there just going out there to let it rip, um, to where maybe a couple of the guys that played well in the qualifier were maybe expected to do better than they did. And I don't know. I was just out there and being as aggressive as possible and trying to make as many birdies as possible, and it ended up working out.
So that first round, where do you go? 6 under the first
Yeah,
round? Yeah. Okay. So
yeah.
just solid golf all day.
hmm
And
Both days
then,
I got off to a really good start. So that helped a lot. Like the first day I birdied 1, 2, and 3. So just right out of the gate, being 300 through three was nice. I mean, slowed down a little bit through the round, especially the back nine. I made some bad swings and parred a couple of the par fives. Didn't take advantage of 16, the
Mhm.
drivable hole, but all in all, I mean, that was, I think 600 was tied for the lead. So,
Yeah, you're tied for the lead. What's the difference? So like when I go low, there's a difference between like good players, great players, and like, just average golfers. Like when I start going low, I start getting more nervous. But you
mhm.
birdie the first three holes, do you get more tight? Do you get more relaxed? What is it for you?
Oh yeah. I mean, I would say the more birdies I'm making, the more comfortable I get for sure. Um, it
Need some of
just,
that medicine.
yeah, I think it just levels. I think it levels the nerves too, because like if you're nervous and then you're able to do that, I mean, why be nervous, you know?
Gosh,
So,
see that? Yeah, I need that. That's what I need in my life. Just that, yeah, well, it's good. Why be nervous? That's a good question. I should ask myself that. So, okay, you're tied for the lead. Now, what's the night like? What do you, are you nervous sleeping or are you like, hey, this is great? I'm playing with house money or I'm going to get a paycheck. What are you thinking?
yeah, I mean, I guess at that point it became a little bit more real. Um, but then again, I think I went out to dinner with a couple of my buddies that I play golf with around Scottsdale, and yeah, had a pretty easy night. Went to dinner, went home, probably watched a little TV and hit the hay.
Yeah, how'd you
Um,
sleep? You sleep good or was it like rest?
yeah,
Like, or
yeah,
was solid?
yeah, it's fine. I think the most frustrating part though is like the afternoon tea times, having to wait all morning and distract yourself through the morning, and I don't know. I used to probably watching golf or something to get me through the morning and then get out there. But it was cool. I like teeing off a little later too. It's especially coming down the 18 with the sun setting and all that. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's got to be nice. Well, all right. So you started that second round lights out. I mean, you're
Hmm.
what? You're like 9 under or something after how many holes?
Well,
Take us through
uh,
that. Like, what's going
yeah,
on? Like, because you started that front nine on a tear.
yeah. So I did something similar the first round. I didn't birdie one. I missed like a 10-footer, but then I birdied 2 and 3. I hit them both. Both those shots were like to about a foot, and then I birdied 4, and I made it like a nice putt. It was like a 10-footer. So at that point, that was coming like back to being settled in. Like make one nice putt to be 300 through 4. Then like I felt like everything came really easy from then. Um, 5 I parred 6. I made another birdie. It was like a 12-footer, and then I hit one of the better shots of the tournament on 7. I had like a 4 iron from like 220 to, I don't know, a little over 12, 13 feet, but I missed that. Hit a good putt, but I still, that puts me to 5 under through 7. So, um, parred 8. I think I lipped out there. So I mean, every hole I had a chance to make a birdie. It seemed like, so that's also a nice feeling too. Um, and I get to hole 9, and I hit a pretty bad drive in the left desert, and then actually got I guess, a decent break, and it ended up kind of where I had a shot to aim like 10, 12 yards left of the green and cut it back to the pin, and ended up doing that. Hit like a 7 iron to 10 feet and made that for eagle. So I'm turning at 7 under. And at
That's
that point, yeah, I was
yeah.
pretty comfortable. Like I assumed I had about I don't even know, maybe 3 or 4 shot lead. Um,
At
and
what point are you thinking I'm gonna win this thing?
probably. when I made a birdie on 14 to go 10 under through 14. I was 10 under through 14 holes.
Yeah, we were like, I'm sitting there, scrolling through, refreshing the app, looking at the scores, and I'm like, and I'm on an airplane at this point, headed home, and I'm
Hmm.
thinking, can't we're on 59 watch right now because you've
Yeah,
got
yeah,
two more par fives coming up, or that's 14. Yeah, you got another par five coming up. You got the short par four. Were you thinking that?
for sure. Yeah, I mean, I had to make two birdies in the last four holes. I was thinking more like I need to do this for like the channel for these guys. I mean, that this would be epic if I shot 59 on camera. Um, but then I probably missed like the shortest putt of my life on 15. It was maybe a foot and a half. It was, I don't know, it's just the weirdest thing ever. I like lipped her all the way around the hole. And at
Mm.
that point, yeah, I was like, I kind of forgot about the 59. I'm like, all right, let's just get this to the clubhouse. And I parred the last three holes. So
Yeah, I guess after 59's off, you're like, all right, let me just get the job done, get out of
yeah,
here.
yeah, exactly.
So you get the $50,000 first prize.
Hmm.
Where does that go? I mean, you're traveling around, you're playing events, but what are you doing? Like that's your biggest paycheck, I would imagine, in
Yeah,
pro
yeah,
golf.
for sure. For sure. I mean, I guess first it goes to the bank account and then
How long
I
before it hits the account? Let's let How
um
long before the
I
good pays up? That's what I want to know.
I think it took like, let's see, the tournament ended on like Thursday maybe, and
Mm-hmm.
then it hit maybe the next Wednesday or Thursday or Friday. So
A
maybe a 5 to 7 days.
few days. They're quick. I like it.
Yeah, yeah, they're on top of it.
So what does that do for a guy like you in your career? You're up in Canada right now, about to hit the course round one.
Hmm.
What does it do for you in terms of your professional career?
I mean, it'll help. $50,000 will help pretty much anyone. But yeah, I mean, we gotta professional golfers pay their way through whatever they want to do in golf, and every little bit helps. And obviously, I hope to, you know, win back everything that I spend or more. So um, but it is nice having that kind of cushion in the back of your mind, so you don't play golf under financial stress, because I think a lot of guys are out there competing on many tours and stuff like that. Sometimes have that thing in the back of their mind, telling them that they gotta win money or they're losing money. So it's
What's what's the first place winner get this week at the what tournament are you at right now up there in Canada?
it is the Victoria. Oh, let's see, Royal Victoria Open. It's up in Victoria Island. The winner will get 36,000
Wow.
Canadian, which is not very. It's not even 36,000. It's like, with the exchange rate, it's like a little less than 30 probably. Um, US dollars, with how bad the exchange rate is here.
And how many players are vying for that event?
Full field is 156.
So you got
Yeah,
156, then they're going to cut to what, 60, 70,
65 in ties. Yeah.
65 in ties, and then does everybody get paid out like to the end? I've
Yeah,
obviously
if you make the cut, I mean, if you finish 65th, you're not going to make squat, but
$50. But what's your entry fee for something like this?
um, so PJ Tour Canada, I think every week it's like $250. It's kind of weird that,
Hmm.
like, it's almost like the higher up you go, like Corn Ferry to PJ Tour, the cheaper it gets with all the like little stuff.
Yeah.
So like Canada, every week you pay 280 Canadian or something to what ends up being a little like 250 US. and then you pay for a yardage book to where like I think Corn Fair. I know PJ Tour you don't even have an entry fee. You get free yardage books, or free courtesy car. So it's more expensive here, and then you're making less. It's a tough deal, but everyone's got to do it.
That's tough. Not only do you have to stress about all the finances, all the everything going on, you got to book your own travel, you got to do everything basically, and you
Hmm.
make a lot less. And then as you progress up the ladder, it becomes easier and easier. And so
Yeah.
to get there is just it says a lot to be
Hmm.
even at your level.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
That's incredible. All right, so you grew up in San Diego. You started golf as what age did you start? We want to give these viewers like a goal here. What do they need to do? When do they need to start? When did you start?
So my dad was a pretty good player himself, and he taught me and my twin brother how to play pretty early on. Um, we had the plastic clubs and all that, the Snoopy sets and whatever, banging little balls around. Um, but didn't really gravitate to the sport fully until we were like 12 or 13.
Yeah,
But up until then, we played a little bit of junior golf. Um, but it was just kind of like, hit a bucket of balls a couple times a month type of thing, and would sign up for a tournament if it didn't conflict with a baseball game or something like that, or a desert trip. Um, so we had a lot of other stuff going on, and we kind of figured out around that age, 12, 13, that if we had any shot with doing something in sports, it was probably going to be golf.
wow.
Um, Kind of late. Me and my brother weren't the biggest, fastest, strongest kids in the world. We grew a little later, so uh, all the action sports and football, baseball probably wasn't in our cards at the time.
What was the first tournament where you're like you played well or you won? You said, okay, this is I'm pretty good.
Um, I think I never really thought that at all, honestly. I saw a lot of kids that I remembered the names in like San Diego Junior Golf, um, from like ages 7 and 8 and 9. Those kids that kept on playing throughout, and they were obviously a lot better than me when I came back to junior golf. So I think I was just so determined on like trying to catch up to those guys and
Mm.
try to end up, being as good and better than those guys. So I wasn't never really satisfied or content with, you know, how good I was playing. I was just always kind of had that hunger level pretty high. And probably why I ended up just progressing so fast through, high school and all that, and ended up being, a top ranked junior and all that, because thought about, I never really thought of myself as being very good, I guess. I was always wanted to get better. And I still kind of am that way, I would say.
That's awesome. I love it. So for all the kids out there, like you don't have to be the best number one all through junior
Hmm.
golf. You can just do a lot of different things. And at some point, if you love the game and you have the determination, you can make it.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
awesome. Well, I mean, I remember when my kids were playing junior golf. You're a few years older than my oldest. So
Hmm.
I still I see photos. Like one came up on my Facebook memory the other day of my son winning all these medals from the drive, chip, and putt. And he's
Yep.
standing in front of his scoreboard, and whose name is on the scoreboard next to this is your Cameron Sisk, and your
Oh,
brother, and
yeah.
you guys
No
are
way.
so it's cool to see those scoreboards and those leaderboards and see people's names on there that I recognize,
Hmm.
and guys that like you that are doing really really well. And what how'd you find out about the good tournament and get involved in that?
Well, I first saw it, and like most people, like the advertisement for it, and I was like, there's no way this is too good to be true. Like, this is even a real thing. And my agent, Davis, he started representing the good guys, a while back. And I texted him, I was like, what is this thing all about? Like, there's no way this is real, right? It's like, oh, it's definitely real. I said, all right, well, let's
Wow.
do everything I can to try to get into this tournament. And we did, and was able to get a spot in the 63. So I was just lucky enough. Really, I mean, I heard that just in the first day, I think there was probably over 1,000 applicants. So
Yeah,
so many guys wanted to play that tournament, and I don't blame them. I mean, it was a pretty cool event. So just the very, very lucky to even get a spot to try to play. That was pretty cool.
that's pretty cool. I'm wondering, like in the next one, do you get to come back for the next one, or are you out once you win? Like, can you defend your title?
I'd be happy to play another one if they want me to,
Of course
if
you
they let
would.
me.
That's awesome. What's all right? Last question here for you, Cameron. What is the go? Like, where do you want to go? Obviously, there's PGA Tour, but there's also other options now. Like, where do you see your future going?
I think, I mean, in my position, none of that what just happened to the golf world is really, I didn't really get affected by it at all, at least like where I'm at in my career. Um, I don't really think a lot of people know what will happen. Um, but at the end of the day, I'm not really focused on that. Like, I think if you just play good golf wherever you're at, everything's going to take care of itself. Just like the good, all I try to do is just play as good as I can and let the rest kind of fall into place. And that's ultimately what I'm trying to do. I know if you get caught up in, you know, all the drama, political stuff, it's not really good for your game and mental state. So I'm trying to
Love it.
just take care of myself, and I think at the end of the day, I'll be in a good spot if I can do that.
I love it. Well, I'll tell you what, all I know is talking to you, I know why my game suffers is because I don't have that like even keel, attitude that you're like, yeah, whatever, I just get more relaxed, the more birdies I make. I love it. I love that energy, the spirit. You got a great game too. I was watching you, following you around. You crush it.
Thank you,
Congratulations.
thank you, man.
All right,
I
good
really
luck this week
appreciate
in
it.
Canada. And I think you're going to do pretty well. So you got a lot, especially with that win under your belt. Like that's from playoff to the victory, and I think you're going to do well.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I'll do my best.
Good luck. Thanks for joining us.
Absolutely. Thank you.